Left-Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
If you let Donald Trump tell it, he knows more about every topic than anyone else, and no one is smarter than he is. Ace, why is Trump thinking he's the expert on everything one of his biggest problems?
I mean, we all got a friend like that, man. A one-upper, man. This motherfucker, anything you do, he done did it better already. We got that partner friends, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know that guy, and that's who Trump is. I mean, once again, it's just lies in with all of the nonsense he comes up with. You know, one, you can't know everything and be an expert at everything. But two, for you to tell me that you know everything is just a crock of shit. Once again, he's the con man president. When it's all said and done, that's what we're going to write it down. So part of his game is, hey, well, no, I'm the best at that. I'm the greatest at that. The question is, why are we taking that shit at face value? You know what I'm saying? Well, not all of us, but some of us are. Like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You definitely ain't at crisis management, because when COVID came out, a shitload of people died over that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And when people faint, you tell them to dance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And all that kind of shit. You know, it comes back to the fact that I tell people, end of the day, end of story, if you like Trump, you don't like Trump, one thing we know and we can agree that he cannot do is govern and make decisions. Big time decisions when it comes to governing people. He's not able to do that. Anything that we've come up that needed a good decision that was going to be the best for a lot of people, he always thought about himself when it came to it. It's just part of his narcissistic personality to say, "Hey, man, I'm an expert at everything," or they can say anything. He can say, "Man, Black history. Oh yeah, no sure, I'm the best in Black history and shit." Shit, you know, I'm number one and shit. You know, I know everything about Black history. Yeah. When he didn't even know people's names and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's another sign of his cognitive decline. He don't even get names right.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, it's another sign of his, you know, crock of bullshit. And, you know, when things are coming out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
Yeah. And in addition, I think that him thinking that he knows everything when the experts really do come to him with crucial information, he's so arrogant he disregards it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that, just like you were saying with COVID, with Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Dr. Fauci would be sitting there listening to him trying not to pull his hair out when he'd be talking about ingesting bleach and freaking figuring out how to get sunlight into your body and the crazy bullshit he said during COVID. You can't. He thought that he knew everything, and it's kind of like, okay, you think you know everything, but you know less than people who are in middle school, dude.
Basically,
you know less.
6th graders.
Yeah. You know, when you talk about geography and everything, you listen to this dude talk, and he sounds like he failed that shit in high school. How the fuck you end up president, partner? How you end up to be president? I don't like. Yeah. And it's one thing to be arrogant and think you know everything and be extremely knowledgeable. But he don't know much of nothing. Like I said, the people who say, "Oh, well, I mean, you can't defend that."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't you know, it's just it baffles me when it comes to like Trump and people that are kind of like follow him religiously. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like plain and simple. And just, you know, and you know, I just don't, you know, we're talking about him being cognitive and things like that, but it comes down to, you know, this dude's running for president. You know what I'm saying? And how do we get into a position where we got a guy that don't know nothing, acts like he knows everything? He's arrogant. He doesn't listen to his experts and puts us in a bad position. And this dude is still in the capability of running for president and be in the position he is. How do we get there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And most crucially, most of the people who have worked with him closely are not endorsing him. So when you say that you know everything, but your cabinet members, your generals are like, "Oh, no, partner, you don't know shit. As a matter of fact, you know so little. I'm going to torch my political career to make sure you don't get elected again. That's how little you know.
Yeah, for real.
And that's a lot, because you have people who are hardcore Republicans, been Republicans their whole life, and they're going to torch their career because it is so important for them to let folks know this dude doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah. And then what he turns around and does is say, well, they didn't do a very good job. Well, partner, if they didn't do a very good job, well, then why is it you keep hiring people who you think, quote unquote, didn't do a good job? Yeah. Because he had the highest turnover rate of any president.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not a good identifier of talent, or, you know, these people were good, like you said they were, and they noticed that you weren't. All right. And the trend that we're seeing is that most people are saying that you weren't good, bro. But to your point about, like, you know, his being an expert on everything and why that is a bad thing, why that's a problem, I think you hit the first thing that I was thinking of, is that if you're the expert on everything, when the people in the room who are experts come in to say shit, you don't value their opinion because you think you know more than they do. Mm-hmm. And you start to disregard shit, and that could impact people in a bad way. You could be hurting a lot of people. It did. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And because you think you know better than a fucking expert who has a degree and has worked 20-something years in the field, you think you know more than this motherfucker? That's wrong. And then the second thing that it makes me think about is the boy who cried wolf. Mm-hmm. The more you say you're the expert, motherfucker, every time you say you're the expert, really? People start to not believe that you're the expert on anything, even the things that you might be. There might be an important thing around infrastructure and real estate.
I was gonna say hair gel and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Or motherfucking spray tan. You know what I'm saying? You know spray tan, nigga. So if somebody start asking about spray tan and how it's good or bad, you might have an opinion. The motherfuckers be like, man, you say you know more about everything than anybody about every fucking topic. Nigga, you's a lie. We don't believe you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so people like me who think he's crazy, maybe he is saying something true at that time, but I'm not going to believe him, because you can't be the expert on everything and say that you are, because people then start to think you're full of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say, we've all worked for that boss that thinks he knows everything. And we watched them just burn the house down or whatever company he was in. Like, all right, look at this dumb motherfucker right here. You know, he thinks he knows everything. I'm going to sit back and watch. Good luck. Yeah. How many people working for Trump saying the same goddamn thing? All right, you know everything, right? You think you Mr. Know-It-All. Yeah. I bet you Fauci did that shit. Like, okay, all right. I mean, no, I'm telling you, but you gonna do what you gonna do. Mm-hmm. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? So we all been there, man. So that's what that trait of him brings out. It brings out that type of resentment in the workforce also. Where he knows it all.
I wonder if, like, I mean, he says he's an expert on everything, but I wonder if he really is the expert on Arnold Palmer's genitalia. That's what we're going to talk about next.